Kunka ruhanga ayoreka rukunda yaritwe. Wogo akutu aberitu chiri abasisi. Kristo yatufira. Kunka abamwa chiri baka muchiriza. Akabaha bushu bruzi. Wogoba abana baruhanga. Today, I would like to show you that learning a second language will benefit you by boosting your intelligence, improving your job opportunities, and equipping you to take the love of Jesus to the nations. Now, I'm sure all you students, when you heard boost my intelligence, your ears perked up. Well, the fact is, according to the Journal of Psycholinguistic Research, learning a second language improves both cognitive flexibility and working memory. That means it's going to impact your decision-making, your problem-solving, and your situational navigation. We're talking everything from relational communication to your driving. Specifically, learning a second language exercises your executive functions skills in your brain. What am I talking about? Well, Italian researchers published in the Journal of Pediatric Reports that, quote, executive functions refers to a set of higher order cognitive abilities that include working memory, inhibitory control, planning, reasoning, and problem solving. Various studies suggest that foreign language learning likely promotes executive functions. That means that the set of skills that you acquire when you start learning a second language and when you start using a second language help you to be able to navigate all kinds of different cognitive situations. It boosts your ability to remember things as you start learning new vocabulary. It boosts your ability to navigate situations, whether a communicational situation, a relational situation, whatever kind of situation, because you have to navigate new grammatical rules and new syntax. Plus, as your brain learns to transition back and forth between two different vocabularies, two different sets of syntax, two different sets of grammatical principles, it exercises the abilities that are necessary for multitasking. That's right. So if you were thinking, I don't have the time to learn a second language, the fact is learning a second language will give you more time because it will improve your ability to multitask, which will make every area of your life more efficient. An additional benefit of learning a second language is that it will improve your job opportunities. A survey from the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Languages found that 90% of businesses in the United States relied on employees who spoke languages other than English. 1 in 3 said they had a language skills gap. 1 in 4 said they had lost business due to a lack of language skills. The fact is, businesses and employers in the US are searching for people who can speak more languages than just English. They're especially looking for those who can speak both English and Spanish, but also Russian, French, Chinese, Arabic, and Portuguese are highly sought after. Once you gain the skills necessary to use a second language, you'll have so many more opportunities open to you for different jobs, which are opportunities for connection with all kinds of new people. Okay, but at this point you might think, yeah, but I already have a job and I just don't feel like I need to learn a second language because I live in the US where everybody speaks English. Actually, more than 1 in 5 people, 22%, age 5 and older in the US speak a language other than English, according to the US Census Bureau. To put this in perspective, imagine yourself at Walmart, and at the checkout line next to you, there are 5 people. That means that statistics suggest that at least one of those 5 people quite possibly speaks a language other than English when they're at home. Or on a slightly larger scale, on a Saturday evening, imagine you're on the way home and you stop to go through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and there's 20 cars in the line. Statistics suggest that at least 4 of those cars may very well contain individuals and families who speak a language other than English when they go home. Or, on the largest scale, imagine that you're at the DMV and there's 100 people packed into that tiny little room. Well, statistics suggest that at least 20 of those people might go home and speak a language other than English once they finally get done with their business at the DMV. There are people all around you in your environment that are speaking other languages than English when they go home. And if you learn the languages that they speak, you will be able to connect with them and build relationships with them. But not just in the environment that you're in now. There are people all over the world who have yet to hear the gospel. And that's why the third benefit of learning a second language is that it will equip you to take the love of Jesus to the nations. Revelation 5:9 says that Jesus has purchased a people for God by his blood from every tribe, language, people, and nation. Now that Jesus has made a way for people all over the world to have a relationship with him, it is your and my responsibility to learn their languages so that we can go and communicate the truth and the love and the good news of Jesus to all these people. When you learn a second language, you can go and share the gospel with people in another country who don't speak the language that you speak. And what's more, you can build a deep, heart-level relationship with them because you can connect on a heart level through their heart language. That means that you can evangelize, you can counsel, and you can disciple in the languages of people all over the world. At the beginning of this presentation, I quoted several excerpts in a language called Runyankole. Now, you probably never heard of that language, and you might think it's kind of insignificant until I point out to you that there are 2 to 3 million people in southwestern Uganda who speak Runyankole. I was able to go to southwestern Uganda several summers ago, and I just learned small pieces of their local language, including those 2 excerpts. One day, I was walking down a road in Uganda, and a man came and started walking with me, and he didn't speak any English, but I was able to share those 2 quotes with him, which are actually Romans 5:8, but God shows his love for us, and that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us, and John 1:12, but to all who did receive him, to those who believed on his name, he gave the right to become children of God. I wasn't able to communicate with this man because he didn't speak English, and I spoke very little of his language, but I was able to communicate the word of God and the full truth of the gospel in this man's heart language because I was willing to take the time to learn those 2 verses in the language that he spoke. And that's why I encourage you, learn a second language so that it will boost your intelligence and you can glorify God better in school and work and everything else. Learn a second language so that you can have improved job opportunities and you can connect with more people and be more useful in your local economy. But especially, learn a second language so that you can take the love of Jesus to the nations, to people all over the world.